Well, thank you for coming. Welcome to our webinar series, Don't Go Broke in a Nursing Home. In the last segment, we discussed the second hurdle of Medi-Cal, that being how much does Medi-Cal pay and the minimum monthly maintenance needs allowance. We went into the fact that Medi-Cal is state-specific and discussed various of its details. In this segment, we'll introduce you to the three hurdles of Medi-Cal again and discuss in detail the third one. It's a loan, not a gift. They want their money back. And then in subsequent sessions, we'll compare Medi-Cal to VA benefits and discuss pre-planning concepts for Medi-Cal. As we've said before, Medi-Cal is generally limited to skilled nursing facilities, does not typically cover assisted living nor in-home care. There are many different Medi-Cal programs. The one which we're going to be discussing today, the one in which I'm expert, is the long-term care program. That does require us to define for our purposes long-term care, and that gets us into the Medicare program. Medicare is the health insurance that almost everybody over 65 in this country has. It pays for skilled nursing facilities for up to 100 days depending on the circumstances, maybe less, and depending on the circumstances, sometimes not at all. So for our purposes, long-term care is anything beyond what Medicare pays. Medi-Cal is California's version of what most other states call Medicaid, but it is state-specific, so remember, no state's rules are the same. Each one is different. In a skilled nursing facility, acute and subacute can cost a lot, $10,000 to $20,000 a month and up. At that point in time, any veterans benefit is going to be a drop in the bucket. What makes the Medi-Cal program so attractive is that it pays an unlimited amount monthly. Now there are what I call three hurdles of Medi-Cal, the three stages. The first one, or actually the first two we've discussed previously, those being a qualification and how much will Medi-Cal pay, which is often referred to as the share of cost. Today we're going to discuss it's a loan, it's not a gift, so they really want their money back after you're gone. This is what we call Medi-Cal recovery. They want their money back after you or your spouse, if you're married, are no longer with us. And they take it from virtually everything that you own, including the home. And remember, the home is exempt for qualification, but not typically for payback. And also, payback doesn't come from you because you're gone. It comes from the kid's inheritance. Now, if it's done correctly, all of the estate can go to the children. If it's done incorrectly, they're going to lose their inheritance. So let's take a look at an example. This is without planning. We have a $250,000 estate made up of a home worth $150,000 and a bank account worth $100,000, so the total of $250,000. Let's assume that over the lifetime of this person, Medi-Cal has paid out $200,000. Now the person dies. Medi-Cal wants their money back, and what's going to happen is they will take the full $100,000 from the bank account because that's an easy thing to get. And then the home, they'll force its sale if necessary and take $100,000 from there, leaving $50,000 for the inheritance. So Medi-Cal recovery winds up with $200,000 of the original $250,000, and the kids get an inheritance of $50,000. So Medi-Cal has taken 4/5 and the kids get 1/5 in this particular situation. Well, what happens with a specialist attorney? We start with the same home, $150,000, same bank account, $100,000, total estate $250,000, over the person's lifetime, $200,000 being paid out. But with a specialist attorney, and here's the difference, they're not going to get any of the bank account and they're not going to get any of the home, and the children are going to wind up with the full $250,000. So let's take a look at the dramatic difference. It really is a dramatic difference. We start with $250,000 without a plan, $50,000 going to the children. With a specialist attorney, $250,000. That's pretty striking, and I'll ask the question that I always ask. It's a very simple question. Which one would you rather be? $250,000 for the kids or $50,000? So what do? Well, we offer a complimentary Medi-Cal eligibility assessment. It's generally limited to those with some type of California connection. someone is resident here in this state, or there is a real estate here, something that connects with California. We typically do this by phone, so you don't even have to leave your house. Well, if we've talked about what is free, then that means there must be a flip side to the coin: what is not free. We know that some of you will need help to become eligible. In other words, you are not eligible as we sit here today, but you can become eligible. We figure from our live workshops that about 15 to 20% of you are going to need help. Either legal help or financial work is going to need to be done. These services are not free, but you will be informed of any fees you need to pay prior to having any obligation, so it's completely above board and transparent. Now here's a little bit about me. Notice I was admitted to the state bar in 1974. I think point 2 and 3 are particularly important because they indicate that I'm specialized. I'm not a jack of all trades. I just don't think one can do everything and know everything, and I want people to get top-notch solutions. The only way I think that can be done is if one specializes in only a few areas. You can see my background. I've been a teacher, I've been an author, I've been a columnist, I'm accredited by the VA. There's my number if you want to look me up, and I've been involved in helping families not go broke in a nursing home literally for decades. Here's one of my columns that I wrote in the early 90s about Medi-Cal. It appeared in the Blade Citizen, which at that time was the largest regional newspaper in San Diego County. That paper later morphed into the North County Times, which since has morphed into the San Diego Union Tribune. I wrote for the Blade Citizen and the North County Times for 15 years, one column a week. This is one of them. Notice its title, Irrevocable Trust Can Avoid Medi-Cal Claims. So I'm not a Johnny-come-lately to the field. I've been in it at least since the early 90s. If you want to read more about me, you can find my full resume under the About tab on this website. Now I want to caution you, this field is complex and complicated, difficult to do on your own, some real minefields to navigate through, and those who have tried often make mistakes which can cost the family tens of thousands of dollars. Penalty periods during which Medi-Cal will not pay a penny, to even the loss of the family home. So this really is a team effort. Who's on the team? We'd be delighted to be on the team for you. Of course, the staff at the facility, they'll be pleased to help. And last but not least, you, because we cannot do it without you helping you. But together we can make it happen. So please do take us up on our offer for a complimentary Telcon assessment. Our contact information is on the bottom of the slide you are looking at right now. Of course, if you're not quite ready to get started yet, this website is a great place to start your research for estate planning, estate administration, Medi-Cal, VA, and many other things. Lots of great information. We look forward to having you back for the subsequent segments on Don't Go Broke in a Nursing Home, in which we will discuss the two big programs, Medi-Cal and VA, and we will compare them, and we'll discuss pre-planning concepts for Medi-Cal. Thanks for listening.